Welcome back to another episode of Disc Golf Hot Takes, where the takes are hot, the birthday cakes are hot. It's Chris's birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, bro.
Eric and John are also here.
Hey.
My cakes are hot.
Nice.
You're on the hot seat. Get ready. Okay, so you guys all have heard the adage, drive for dough, or drive for show, putt for dough, right? Everybody has to drive, but you have to make a putt every single hole. Putting is the most important part of the game. Agreed?
Yep.
Nope.
Chris?
To an extent. I'll say it that way.
That's an extreme, yes, but yes,
You're
I
right.
agree.
It is extreme. It's extremely BS. It is not true. Putting is the least important part of the game.
False.
The past 2 weekends, we have had a Disc Golf Pro Tour event and a Disc Golf Pro Tour Silver Series. Silver Series? Silver Series?
Yep.
Okay. So 2 weekends ago was the Waco Annual Charity Open. Nico LaCastro won that. Strokes gained in terms of driving. So from tee to the green, he gained 4 strokes over second place. He won the event by 3 strokes. Strokes gained putting, he actually lost almost 3 entire strokes. His putting almost lost him the event. His driving won him the event. This past weekend, Belton. The Open at Belton, Ricky was the winner. Strokes gained tee to green, 3. Ricky's margin of victory, 3. Strokes gained putting, Ricky lost almost 3. To second place, again, second place at the Open was Paul, and second place at Waco was Kale. Both of them lost by 3. Both of them gained 3 strokes on the putting green, lost 3 strokes from tee to the green. That is what won both of those people the events. The past 2 weekends, the highest level driving is more important than putting. Your ability to get off the tee and put yourself in position to score.
That's such a small sample size.
Well, we're going to get more of that this year, so I feel like this statistic is going to be really cool to kind of play out.
Sure.
Like on a course like Dogwood that we're playing this weekend, I genuinely think if you do not putt well, you will struggle because you are not always going to land. You're not, like on those courses, you can put it inside the circle easier off the tee than you can out here. So you have to putt well to win.
I think that reason, what you just said, is exactly why driving will be more important this weekend.
Yes,
I will take that
I
bet.
agree with that.
Putting yourself in position to make putts this weekend will be more important than your ability to make putts.
Dollar bet. Let's
Deal.
go.
Making
Right now.
Okay, time out.
Deal.
What is the exact hot take? That driving is more important
Driving
than
is
putting?
more important. It is more critical. If you are trying to win an event, if you are trying to play well, your ability to drive the disc is more important than your ability to make putts.
Okay. So it's hard because it's nuanced, right? And we're trying to make it black and white. But so I'd be curious, do you have the stats up or is it written down?
From the last 2 events, from Waco and from the Open, I
Okay.
do.
What do you know what Nico's C1X and C1 percentage were?
Nico was 69% Circle 1X.
And what was C1? Because I bet you he parked a lot of stuff. He was throwing it real good.
It doesn't say.
I don't know if they keep
Lower.
track of
They
C1
do
anymore.
still keep C1.
Do they?
Yep.
Should be lower, like in the stats down below.
I think that driving is going to be more important on tighter courses, more wooded courses. Waco is kind of both. Belton's, I guess, kind of both as well. But like this weekend playing Dogwood, if you don't get off the tee, you're not going to score.
That's true.
Right. Okay, so without doing math, I can tell you that Nico finished 104th in the field in Circle 1X putting, and he finished 111th in Circle 1 putting.
Yeah,
And he won the event by 3 strokes.
And I'm not surprised by that because that's never been Nico's strong suit, those close putts. But I mean, that's a small sample size.
Yeah. I mean,
you're on to something. For sure, you're on to something here. And I try and talk about, I think what more that quote means is it does not matter if you throw a 420-foot shot and put it to 15 feet. If you don't finish the hole, you are losing strokes no matter what you do. It doesn't matter how you threw the disc off the tee. So putting is the only way you get off a hole.
Right.
Correct.
And
Unless you throw it in, but that's edge case.
You get that. The other part is I try and tell people, take as much time as you did to go through your routine on the tee as you do on that 15-footer, 20-footer, because no matter what, at the end of the day, on a scorecard, they matter the same.
Right.
So that's a level playing field. But yeah, so those are things that I talk about when it comes to driving versus putting, and that, you've rattled my brain.
So for the sake of argument, I'm gonna argue that
That's why we're here.
because I can't go the complete opposite because I can't bring myself to
you
do
can
it.
do whatever you want.
Oh, I can. That's true. But
might
I would
sound
say
dumb doing
that once your putting is at a certain prerequisite level, that driving becomes more important than putting.
I will agree with that.
Sure.
If you're putting at 40%, like no, putting, you need to get your putting better. But if you're putting at clearly, what was it, 60 whatever percent?
Let's go with a
69.
realistic number, like 80%.
Yeah, but
C1X 80%. If you're putting,
agreed.
that's where. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
No, I agree, but Nico won with 60 something percent because he was throwing it so good. His driving outweighed his putting, but his putting was still at a prerequisite level to take enough advantage of all of the opportunities he was giving himself.
Totally.
Well, and like those stats can be like a little misleading,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
if you take somebody like Katrina, when she's making a ton of her putts, like she's one of the best off the tee, but we sometimes think of those missed putts that she's had, but she's giving herself so many more putts than other people,
Right.
and that are for birdie because she drives so well. I don't know. I mean, you're definitely onto something. But I think that putting probably matters more on specific courses than driving does. Like if you're putting well at Vegas, because driving, you can just kind of chuck it wherever, I feel like.
Yeah, I think the more open the course, the more important putting is. The easier
Agreed.
the easier the course, the more important the
Okay.
putting is.
USDGC, very open course. But if you are not driving the disc
Bro,
welder,
you ever been there?
I have not.
It ain't
But
open.
You're bringing tons of OB penalties. into play
correct.
there.
So you need to execute your drives accurately.
correct.
You can putt the best. You can miss 0 putts inside circle 2.
Preserve. Let's go with the preserve then.
Okay,
And
I'm not
I-
as familiar.
No,
with it.
no OB.
No OB anywhere. Throw rip bombs. Just kind
Sure.
of rip. Nico putted well that tournament. Well, no, he didn't. But
Son
again,
of
it's along the lines of like if we're on a course like that,
But
you
that's-
have to putt the disc well.
But
because
that's
you-
Nico's game. Like
Yeah.
he's so good at throwing the disc, he has problems putting.
Yeah.
If you were to go somebody who is, we know about their game being the strongest part of the game is putting. Like Ricky, I mean, they used to call him the sprinkler. He freaking would spray drives everywhere, but he'd make putts from everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Let's give Nico his credit really quick. At the preserve, he had a 92% Circle 1X
Okay,
putting
killed
rate,
it.
5th best in the field.
There you go.
Putted well enough to win.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he did.
that does show
So
that on
that shows-
easier courses, putting is more
or more
important.
open courses,
Aha.
putting is
We're on
more
something.
important.
When there is 0 danger off the tee.
Correct.
Sure.
Yes.
right.
Well,
But that's-
USDGC is not an easy course.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude,
Well,
it's
when
the
we
hardest
when
course
we're at
I've ever
Dogwood,
played.
Driving is going to be, I think, equally as important as putting.
Oh yeah.
So you're already flip-flopping on our bet.
No,
You're starting
Dude,
that
I
way.
told you rattled my brain here. What do you want from me?
You're trending.
You jumbled it.
Can you just hand me 50 cents now?
I love no, but I really do think that the person who wins will be top in both categories on this
80.
course,
89%.
or at least
I think scramble
or
rate's
close
gonna be
up
high.
there. The scramble rate's going to be incredible.
Right.
I think like if you can't get off the tee here, you're just not going to score.
Yeah.
Like you might be making putts, but they're for par or
Right.
bogey.
Right.
But if you can get off the tee, you can afford to miss some putts every once in a while because they're for birdie.
Crazy.
If you miss, so what do you think? If someone missed half their drives landed off the fairway versus if someone missed half of their putts, but every single one of their drives landed somewhat close to ideal, not parking everything, but hit their line, maybe didn't get a bad kick, whatever, landed in the fairway or better. Who finishes better? The 50% driver or the 50% putter? Out here this weekend at Dogwood.
The driver.
The 50% putter, because you said all of their drives were good.
Okay. I don't want to give the picture that they have a putt on every hole. They're taking nothing worse than a 3 all weekend. Like on a par 4, sometimes they'll 3 it, sometimes they'll 4 it.
Gotcha.
So 50% putter, 50% putter.
No, I said driver.
Well, sure, the person that's better at driving.
Yes.
I would say the person who's driving the disc better. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's another
saying
50
too.
cents for Anthony.
It's not 50 cents. You have to earn it. We got to see how the weekend plays out.
You're steering this conversation in a way
Yeah.
I don't like.
Objection. He's leading the witness.
Prove me wrong.
Let's do it.
You guys are the pros.
So on this course, better driving will win 100%. If putting is up to a certain level.
I think more often than not, just for the sake of $1 between Eric and I were talking
on
about.
all the courses we play
But
for
you can-
NTs and Pro Tours, excluding the Preserve and Belton, I think that's probably correct. Well, Ricky apparently didn't putt that good at Belton.
I mean, he's probably
I feel
still
like
like
he
85 or
He
something.
putted pretty well.
He shot 43 down. Of
he
course
had
he
to
putted
have
well.
Yeah, he finished third in the field
Oh.
at an 88%, 1% behind the birthday boy Chris Clemens.
How did he have minus 3 strokes gained?
Because-
if he putted that well.
Strokes gained tee to the green was 23.6, and Paul was at 20.7.
Okay. So
By the way,
so you're
third-
doing strokes gained off of Paul, not
Well,
strokes gained
off of second place. Paul was second place.
Okay.
in
I
that-
thought you were doing to the field.
For the record, third place was 13.8. So the two of them were far
Yes.
and away
Got it.
Yeah.
in a completely different category last
Well,
weekend.
but Kale, compared to Nico, Kale is, a very strong circle 1 putter. So, that's
Correct.
going to be even more of a variance
So-
there. But me speaking from personal experience, the way that I approach certain tournaments and USDG just happens to be one of those that benefits my play style. I try to throw semi-safe drives, don't take a lot of risks, but I try to give myself a ton of putts, a ton of
Opportunities.
40 NM putts for birdies, and if I don't get those, then I'm guaranteed pars.
Yeah, if I have opportunities on any course, I feel like there's always the potential to shoot hot.
So if I'm not driving well, then I'm usually not scoring well.
It's very hard to score well if you don't drive.
Right.
But there are times where you're driving okay, and then your
And I'm
putting
making
can't bail
some
you
insane
out because you're
putts.
like, I'm landing at 40 feet, and I haven't hit a 40-footer. I'm on my 6th 40-footer of the round, and I'm still not hitting 40-footers because I'm just off a little bit, and you're pained by it because it's both. It's both. My driving isn't good enough, but my putting isn't good enough. But if my driving was better, then my putting would probably be better. So there's that.
You're talking about the career of Anthony.
know.
But when you're putting good and you're confident in your putt, that makes your whole game better, I feel like.
True.
Because there's times where I've been
Hey, why don't you-
struggling putting and I throw in drives and I'm like, oh god, a 20-footer.
Why don't we throw for dough?
Yeah.
Throw for dough.
Throw for show, throw for dough.
What?
Just don't putt.
I mean, all of
No,
it's
because putting is a throw.
yeah. If you
I
want
mean,
to,
yeah. It's,
Yeah.
Sure.
More of a
it's more of a
toss.
toss.
Whatever. God, get out of here.
Gentle push.
Yeah.
That doesn't have the same ring to it.
Throw for dough and gentle push for dough. we're on
Look,
it.
I'm here for it.
But yeah, I think this isn't a hot take at all. It's here's my reasonable take. Sorry. I think a lot of people have shown that Circle 1 and Circle 2 percentages are very indicative of who's going to win a tournament over the past couple of years. And
Like getting into them in
Yeah, getting-
regulation.
Circles in regulation.
correct.
Yes.
Not the
Yes.
putting. Yeah.
Sorry, not putting.
Yep.
But getting to them in regulation is very indicative of who's going to win, where putting isn't. So it's about how many opportunities you can get, and can your putting be good enough to
Convert a
convert
majority
most
of them.
those opportunities. So it's not like you can be bad at putting, but I guess you could say you need to be a better driver and just get by with your putting.
I think that I think that it's a saying for a reason.
Well, in golf, it's true.
putting is also far harder in golf than disc golf.
Yeah, that's true. A smaller basket? No, I
circles?
don't agree with that.
Bigger discs.
Imagine putting in a 30-mile-an-hour headwind on a smaller basket. That sounds terrible.
It does.
I'm scared on a regular basket.
Right, exactly.
Good hot take.
I'm
Artificial
ready for my
wind.
dollar, Eric.
We'll see.
We're basing it off.
Let
this
them know next hot take.
We need
that
to
if you
keep
want
the.
the
Well,
dollar
I guess
amount.
they
I
keep
will
the
let the world
statistic.
know if I win $1. All right, so that's it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for this disc golf hot take.
Thank you, Anthony.
Sounds like I've
You win.
not had the hottest take, as there was no argument. In your face, in your face, in your face. Be sure to subscribe to the Dynamic Discs YouTube as well as Disc Golf Audio if you're listening to the audio.